In this video, you will learn how to multiply fractions in mixed numbers, divide fractions in mixed numbers, and learn how to cross-simplify fractions in mixed numbers. Our first problem is 3/4 times -9/12. The first way to show this is to just multiply straight across. We can look at it as multiplying the numerators first. So, we multiply 3 times 9, and that equals 27. Now, we can look at our denominators as 4 times 12, and that equals 48. Our problem shows that it's a positive times a negative, which equals a negative number. So we make sure that our answer is going to be negative. So we have -27 over 48. The real question really is, can we simplify? -27 over 48 can be divided by 3. Make sure that whatever you do to the top, you do to the bottom, and make sure that you know a positive times a negative always equals a negative. 27 divided by 3 equals 9, and 48 divided by 3 equals 16. And now, since it's a positive times a negative, our answer is negative. So the final answer we have is -9/16. Do not forget to simplify if you can. Alright, so another way to look at this problem is to simplify before you multiply. So we're taking -9/12 here and seeing what can go into the top and the bottom. So we figured out that the number 3 can go into the top and the bottom. And so 9 divided by 3 is 3, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. And now you just bring down your 3/4, and now it's 3/4 times -3/4, because the positive 3/4 can't be simplified, but -9/12 can be simplified. So now we multiply straight across, and 3 times 3 is 9, and 4 times 4 is 16. And you still have that positive times a negative, which always equals a negative. And so your answer will still be negative. And so our final answer is still -9/16. And it cannot be simplified anymore. So that is our answer. Alright, let's look at the next problem we have here. We have -3 6/8 times -3 1/5. We want to make sure that you always change your mixed numbers into improper fractions, no matter what multiplication and division problem you're doing. So we have 3 times 8, which is 24, plus your numerator, 6, which equals 30. And we just keep our denominator, so we put the 8 there, and our number is negative, so we just keep it negative. And then 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16. And then we just keep our denominator, which is 5, and we just keep it a negative because it's been a negative. So there's no reason to change it. So now we have -30 over 8 times -16 over 5. Now we can just multiply straight across like we normally do. So 30 times 16 equals 480. Now we have 8 times 5, which equals 40. Now we look and we see it's a negative times a negative. And so that is always going to be positive. That's not going to change. It's just going to stay a positive, even though you have 2 negatives. Since we have mixed numbers in our problem, our answer should be a mixed number. So we're seeing how many times 40 can go into 480, which 40 can go into 480 12 times. And so our answer equals 12. Let's look at another way to solve this. So we can just keep our improper fraction since it's the same, but we can see if we can simplify one of the fractions before. And so negative 30 over 8 can be simplified before we even multiply, before we even think about multiplying. And this can be divided by 2, which equals negative 15 over 4. Now you just bring down your negative 16 over 5, and now we can just multiply like normal. And so we move across, we do 15 times 16, which equals 240. And 4 times 5 equals 20. Now, since obviously a negative times a negative equals a positive, our answer is still going to be positive. Since we have mixed numbers in our problem, we'll change our answer to a mixed number, so 20 can go into 240 12 times, and so our answer is 12. Let's look at our first division problem we have here. We have 2/3 divided by 4/9. Now when you're dividing fractions, you always have to use the method keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep our first fraction, which is 2/3, change our division sign to a multiplication sign, and flip our second fraction flip the numerators and the denominators to just turn it around. So now we have 2/3 times 9/4, and we can just go across here. We can multiply 2 times 9, which is 18, and 3 times 4, which is 12. Now this answer can obviously be simplified, and when I say simplified, simplification includes changing it to a mixed number. So 12 goes into 18 one time. So we have our 1, and then when we subtract 12 from 18, we have 6 left over. So now we have 1 and 6/12. Now we can simplify this to the smallest number we can get, which is 1 and 1/2. Let's look at another way to solve this. So we can keep our multiplication problem, but we're going to teach you how to cross simplify. So we go across and we take this and we see how many times can this go in on both sides. So we can go in with 2 on both sides. So 2 divided by 2 equals 1, and 4 divided by 2 equals 2. Now we're going to look at the other side here. So when we're looking at this, 3 can go into both. So both can be divided by 3. So 3 divided by 3 equals 1. And 9 divided by 3 equals 3. So now we have a whole new equation here. We have 1 over 1 times 3 over 2. And now we can just multiply straight across, which is 3 times 1 equals 3, and 1 times 2 equals 2. And so now we simplify this. So 2 can go into 3 only once here. And so now we have 1, and when we subtract 2 from 3, we have 1 left over, and that's 1 and 1/2. Let's look at our second division problem here. We have 6 and 1/2 divided by negative 2 and 5/6. Now obviously we can't divide mixed numbers, and we always have to change them into improper fractions. So 6 times 2 plus 1, and we have 2 times 6 plus 5. So now we have to figure out what these equal. 6 times 2 plus 1 equals 13, and 2 times 6 plus 5 equals 17. So now we have 13 over 2 divided by 17, or negative 17 over 6. So now, since it's still a division problem, we still have to do our keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep 13 halves, and we're going to change our division to multiplication and flip our fraction, so it would be negative 16 over 17. Now we can multiply straight across here, so 13 times 6 equals 78, and 2 times 17 equals 34. And obviously a positive divided by a negative does equal a negative, so we have negative 78 over 34, which we need to change into a mixed number, and 34 goes into 78 2 times with 10 left over. So now we have 2 and 10 over 34, negative 2 and 10 over 34, which can be simplified even more. So we have, in conclusion, we have negative 2 and 5 over 17. Another way we can do this is to cross simplify. So we're going to keep our keep, change, flip problem here. And we're going to look across here. We're going to be like, oh, 2 and 6, they are factors of each other. They can be simplified by each other. So both can be divided by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. So now we have a new equation, 13 over 1 times negative 3 over 17. So now we just multiply straight across. 13 times 3 equals 39, and 1 times 17 equals 17. We obviously have our positive divided by a negative here, and that equals a negative number. So we have negative 39 over 17. 17 goes into 39 2 times. So we have 2. We have negative 2, and with 5 left over, so negative 2 and 5/17 is your answer. So in this video, we learned how to multiply, divide, and cross-simplify fractions and mixed numbers. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have so much fun with math now.